Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Today we're checking out how do you become a lord?
The House of Lords, or to give it its proper title, the Right Honourable, the Lord Spiritual and Temporal of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Oh. Okay. I guess, okay. Sorry to stop it. That was part of
Politics
it.
Unboring is brought to you by the Great Courses Plus.
The House of Lords, or to give it its proper title, the Right Honourable, the Lord Spiritual and Temporal of the United Kingdom of Great
All right.
Britain and Northern Ireland in Parliament assembled, .uk, is a big room in that building there, and it's full of lords.
Great. This is a Jay Foreman video. He's one of the map men. He also does Unfinished London, which is really good. He has a great style, lots of jokes really quick, so I keep stopping it because they go by so fast. Yeah, how do you become a lord? I've seen that company that sells plots of land in Scotland or something, and then you can become a lord. It's like $50. But I've heard that's a scam as well. I don't know. I have no idea how you become a lord. Is it fair? Is it all nepotism? I don't know. Probably.
Lords, also known as peers, have a really important job. They look at the ideas that the MPs come up with for new laws and check the fine details to make sure they're just right. If they're not happy, they send them back and say, "Do it again!"
My New Idea for a Law by Samantha MP. Basically, I think dogs should wear clothes. There are too many naked dogs. What does that say? Too many naked dogs nowadays. Last time I went to the park, there were 15 of them. Erg. Do we want our children to grow up in a world where there are 15 naked dogs in the park? I don't. Do you? No, you don't. So my idea for a new law is that all dogs have to wear at least a jumper at all times. That's a sweater in America. The end. P.S. You have completely wasted your time pausing this video. Whoa, y'all. He knew we were going to do it. He's here with us from the future. From the past. In the future. We're in the past. He's in the future. Wait. He came to the future. I need to go to bed. So the lords don't actually write the legislation. They just read it and then they're more like editors for the MPs. What's an MP? Members of Parliament. Of course. Hey. Okay, so those are the people that are elected by the public to represent their interests and concerns in the House of Commons. Ah, yes. Okay. The MPs seem like they work a little harder, maybe.
Being a peer is brilliant.
You get to wear fancy red robes, people have to call you Lord something, you get £300 expenses per day.
Sorry to stop it. That's gone by so fast.
You get to wear fancy red robes, people have to call you Lord.
Oh, okay. That looks like it was replaced, but the guy's name is Lord Smethwick.
Or something, you get £300 expenses per day, you can fly, you're allowed to sleep during debates, and you get to keep the job for life.
So, how do you get to be one?
Okay, yeah.
You get £300 expenses per day, you can fly, you're allowed to sleep during debates, and you get to keep the job for life.
So, how do you get to be one?
The sound effect of that man shaking. That's I don't know why, that just got me. Yeah, she really is sleeping. What is a definition of a lord? What is a lord? It's like a landowner, right? Someone or something having power, authority, or influence, a master or ruler. In the United Kingdom, the titles of Lord and Lady are typically hereditary titles passed down through families. To become a Lord or Lady, you generally need to be born into a family that already holds the lordship title or be granted a lordship title by the monarch. So what does it mean, though? What is it exactly?
You get to wear fancy red robes, people have to call you Lord something, you get £300 expenses per day.
You get £300 expenses a day? £300 a day for just having a title? Members can claim as much as £300 a day for attending the Lords in a program to be broadcast by the BBC. So, okay, when they all meet, is that what that is? Attending the Lords? This says many members of the House of Lords collect their full daily allowance while contributing nothing. In one example, A peer ran into the House of Parliament, presumably to show that he'd attended while a taxi sat outside with the engine running. The best daycare center for the elderly in London. Do they need 300 pounds a day? Surely there are other people who could use it.
You can fly, you're allowed to sleep during debates, and you get to keep the job for life.
So, how do you get to be one?
1. Be born a hereditary peer. If your dad is a hereditary peer, you get to take his place when he dies. This used to be only for men, but it was changed to include women in 1963, as long as they don't have any brothers. 2. Be an Anglican bishop.
If you're a bishop in the Church of England...
So if they have a brother, it goes to the brother, I guess. Is that what he's saying?
As long as they don't have any brothers. 2. Be an Anglican bishop.
If you're a bishop in the Church of England, you automatically get a seat in the House of Lords.
Oh.
Because if you know how to run a church, you know how to run the country.
3. Be chosen by the Prime Minister.
Right.
Prime Ministers can stuff the House with as many lords as they like during their time in office. If you want to be picked, though not essential, it helps if you've donated money to their party.
Now, if
So
to
the
you
Prime
any of this
Minister,
seems
the Prime Minister can just make anyone a lord? And then they get $300 a day for going to the lords?
3. Be chosen by the Prime Minister. Prime Ministers can stuff the House with as many lords as they like during their time in office. If you want to be picked, though not essential, it helps if you've donated money to their party.
Tony Blair, 374, Gordon Brown, 34, David Cameron, 244, Theresa May, 17. Okay, she's not around anymore, is she? I mean, she's alive, I think, but she's not the Prime Minister anymore. So one way to do it is to be born into it. Well, I can't do that. Second way to do it is to be deemed it by a prime minister, and to do that, you have to donate money to their party, so you could buy it. But then, if you buy it, these people don't need 300 pounds a day. 300 pounds a day for how long? What is the Lords? Is that just like when they're in session? Wikipedia. I'm not finding anything about it.
If you've donated money to their party.
Wait,
Now, if to...
I have to read that letter. I can't let that letter go by.
No, no.
Jay Foreman took time to write this letter, so we're going to read it. Dear the Prime Minister, hello, my name is Michael Ashcroft, and I'm a really big fan of the Conservative Party. I like your policies so much, I've given you literally millions of pounds over the years to help keep you guys in power. Anyway, since you owe me a favor, could you make me a member of the House of Lords? I've always wanted to be one of those. Obviously, don't tell people that it's specifically because I've given you money. That would be a massive scandal. Tell them it's because we knew each other at university. Something like that. That's better. Okay, thanks. Bye. Michael Ashcroft. Michael Ashcroft, the future Lord Ashcroft. Brilliant.
It helps if you've donated money to their party.
Please,
Now,
I didn't see
if
that
to
at
you
all.
any of this seems surprising or archaic or batshit, then there's good news. There have been some changes over the past few years to drag the House of Lords kicking and screaming into the 19th century.
1. The number of hereditary peers is now limited to 92.
By the way, that doesn't mean there are 92 remaining that we're waiting for to die. When one family dies out, the other lords have a vote to replace them from a pool of about 800 aristocrats. So there will always be 92 of them.
2.
that's
Leaders of other
interesting.
religions get to be lords.
The 26 Church of England bishops have now been joined by leaders of other faiths. One Methodist, one Scottish Presbyterian, one Church of Ireland, and 2 rabbis.
Okay.
3. The Prime Minister
That seems fair, I guess, but in a way it's weird that religion is incorporated into it. But that's what you want. That's what you get.
has been asked nicely not to give so many peerages. 4. In 2001,
Oh, he's brilliant. He gets me. I gotta see that again.
2 rabbis.
3. The Prime Minister has been asked nicely not to give so many peerages.
Couple
4.
things.
In 2001, they introduced a new way of getting lords into the House. The Appointments Commission. The Appointments Commission's job is to pick people from the real world outside the usual batch of ex-cabinet ministers.
These people's peers are chosen for...
Why did he do that? Oh, I see. On the top right it says I forgot to film this bit. Wow. I asked and it was answered.
Into the House. The Appointments Commission. The Appointments Commission's job is to pick people from the real world outside the usual batch of ex-cabinet ministers.
You should do that
These
more.
people's peers are chosen for their skills and experience, such as if they're experts in law, or science, or the arts,
People's
or beer.
peers. Andrew Lloyd Webber? What? Why? Why? I mean, I'm sure he's a fine man. I'm sure he's a wonderful person. He just seems a little underqualified, that's all.
Thus assuring that the House of Lords is truly representative of the British people it serves, with the exception of the 92 hereditary peers, 26 godbrothers, and 620 life peers chosen by the Prime Minister, who ultimately have the final say on the laws that govern our country despite not being elected, which arguably is a positive thing because it means they're less caught up in party politics and can concentrate on getting the job done, but it also makes them completely unaccountable, and the paltry reforms in 1999 served only to legitimise how inherently undemocratic the entire institution is and delay any meaningful reform for the foreseeable future, whilst we continue to labour under the assumption that we live in a democracy and still have a monarch.
You know what? I can't be bothered to talk about this anymore. The end.
When he puts it like that, dang. But aren't there... What about the House of Commons? Isn't it balanced out by the House of Commons? I don't know how it works. But isn't there a House of Lords and a House of Commons, and they are facing each other in that big room? I sound so stupid. They face each other in the big room, and they yell at each other, and they go rah, rah, rah. It's been a weird day. I usually film in the morning, and it's nighttime, so I guess I have the day on me. I'm in a state of exhaustion. What am I doing? So, I wonder if you have to be born in Britain to be a lord. Seems like you would, right? Life peers must be a British, Irish, or Commonwealth citizen within the UK residency, pay taxes in the UK, and be at least 21 years old. So, it doesn't say you have to be born there. You could just become a citizen and pay taxes there. And then donate to a political campaign. And schmooze up. Kiss some booty. Probably have to do some evil favors. To simply become a lord in England, however, is easy, and you can get the title directly from... see, this is that company. Lordship titles. Yeah, that's not the same thing. I'm going to pay $50 and get lordship titles, and I'm going to show up to Parliament and be expected to get in and say what I got to say to the Prime Minister. Or whoever you're talking to. I don't know. Yeah, I'm falling asleep. I gotta go to bed. Anyway, this is a great video. Jay Foreman always makes great videos. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.